Congressman Joe Walsh, who is a Tea Party stalwart. He's a freshman congressman. That means they're going to say you don't know much, Joe. That you're a newbie, you're green, you're too green to understand the reality of politics. And you're from Illinois, Barack Obama's home state.
Home state.
Yeah, well, where Rahm Emanuel is now running the show in Chicago, and now it all seems like Chicago to me now. This whole thing seems like Chicago. Corrupt. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Laura, it drives me insane as well when in private our leadership tells us things like that. There is a fear. There's a fear on our side among leadership that, oh my God, we just can't have a shutdown. I understand saying we don't want one. I understand saying Harry Reid and the Dems, that's the only play they've got is a shutdown. But we have got to be willing to have a showdown, and we've got to be willing to go to midnight Friday night and be bold, and I wish our leadership would.
Well, why do you think John Boehner, according to Politico, is warning his Republican colleagues that Democrats would win a government shutdown and the GOP would suffer a political catastrophe? Why do you think your Speaker of the House is saying that?
Because I think he's trying to be as firm as he can be with us that we can't have a shutdown. I think he's scared to death of one, Laura, but even to leak that out internally, it gets out in the media, and it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Look, I think I say again and again, he's got to be bold. I think the American people are miles ahead of politicians in D.C. They understand how serious this damn situation is, and they don't want us to nibble around. I go home every week and have town halls every week. Nobody wants a shutdown, but people in my district are saying, if you don't cut spending, then shut this government down.
Well, this is all about a couple of issues, is it not? I mean, the holy grail for Democrats, we've talked about this before, Congressman Walsh. Number one is abortion. So yep. They have said, Harry Reid and Barack Obama have both said, along with Nancy Pelosi, we will never support a final budget that reduces Planned Parenthood's funding or eliminates it. We will not reduce or eliminate NPR's funding, and we will not reduce or eliminate the funding that the EPA gets to carry out its left-wing eco-nut agenda. So those are the three main issues driving the Democrats right now: abortion, NPR, and the EPA. And they're standing firm as Republicans are, we're scared the shutdown is going to be bad for us. Looks weak, terribly weak.
Laura, exactly. I think we had the run of the media for about a month or so because we were bold. The most unified this Republican conference has ever been was at 4:40 in the morning 46 days ago when we all voted for $61 billion in cuts. Now, was $61 billion enough for freshmen like me? Hell no. But it was something, and we were all on the same page. Look, I think the American people are ready for a fight. Let's have the fight on Planned Parenthood. Throw in Obamacare, Laura. Let's have the fight on all of those Obamacare amendments, EPA, NPR, all of these things. I just wish our leadership understood that the American people are with us. But you know better than I do. You're in this town for so long, oftentimes you forget what folks back home, how they feel. These freshmen don't.
Well, let me just tell you, and the American people understand this. If it's so dire, and if this is so important, why is Barack Obama out of town? Why did he leave for yet another fundraiser today? Why is he off figuring out his next move with Al Sharpton or with the Wall Street fat cats, John Corzine, or working with Univision to figure out how to plot the Latino outreach? Why is he doing everything but having everyone in a room until the deal is hammered out?
And why?
It can't be that important if he just left town again.
No, and Laura, the second most important question is, why isn't our leader in front of a camera right now asking that very question? This is so damn important to you, and you're out of town again. The budget negotiations are so important to you that you appointed Joe Biden a month and a half ago, and then he leaves the country the next day. The president is clueless. I want some Republican to stand up and say, like me, I don't know President Obama. I've met him once. He's tall. I'm sure he's a nice man. I'm sure he's a smart man. But every single one of his policies is destroying what makes this country great. We're better than this. And our side needs to articulate that in a huge way.
I have an idea. This is what we can do. We can pay for we can use a Tea Party fund somehow. I'm sure we could get some donors.
Yeah.
And we can pay for our own motorcade to follow the Obama motorcade to Andrews at a respectful distance. And then we can rush to the Air Force One respectfully and just start screaming out questions. Mr. President, before you leave, could you help us? Listen, maybe we should just start doing our own events at Andrews Air Force Base, because that's where you'll find him. More often than not, he'll be coming in and out, and maybe then you can have a meaningful conversation with him on the tarmac.
Laura, the country's going broke, and he's jetting off for another fundraiser. The country's going broke, and he announced his re-election bid and a bid to raise $1 billion. The country's going broke, and he's always leaving town. This is just crazy to me.
But in my mind, the Republicans are losing the PR war on this. So Obama's raising money, and he's winning the PR war. That's a pretty good deal. He raises money for his re-election, and he's getting John Boehner to say that a government shutdown's bad for Republicans. And in my mind, if you're a Democrat, that's a win-win. You've raised money, and Boehner is in the box that he claimed he didn't want to be in.
Here's the big difference, Laura. The Democrats, I believe, have lost the substance of this argument. Their only play is to hope for a shutdown, because they will use their media to make us out to be the bad guy. The difference is our side, our leadership, is afraid of a shutdown, and that's dictating every single move they make.
When you say our leadership, who specifically are you talking about?
I'm not going to. Our leadership, I mean, the Republican leadership right now is so afraid of a shutdown.
Well, you're not afraid of naming names. You're saying people are afraid, but you seem afraid to name names.
John Boehner, Eric Cantor, Kevin McCarthy, go right down the leadership list. I understand. And Laura, I understand it. Look, these guys have been here a while. Boehner was around in '95. I understand.